Amazon founder and the owner of the Washington Post, Jeff Bezos, is accusing the National Enquirer's parent company, American Media Inc., of blackmail. Last month, the Enquirer published a story about Bezos and a woman he is having an affair with, and that touched off a firestorm.
Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos in a battle tonight with the National Enquirer.
After the Enquirer published these photos and text messages of Jeff Bezos and one-time TV anchor Lauren Sanchez last month, Bezos launched an investigation into how they got the story and whether it was politically motivated. After all, American Media Inc. and its leader David Pecker already admitted to squelching stories about Donald Trump's alleged affairs in order to help him get elected.
Mr. Pecker, who owns AMI and has been a long ally of Trump for years and years.
After he launched the investigation, Bezos says he got a series of threatening notes from an AMI attorney, promising to publish compromising photos and texts of him and Sanchez unless Bezos publicly renounced that the story was politically motivated.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos tonight is accusing the publisher of the National Enquirer of blackmail and extortion.
In a rambling memo published on the website Medium, Bezos writes, "Of course I don't want personal photos published, but I also won't participate in their well-known practice of blackmail, political favors, political attacks, and corruption. I prefer to stand up, roll this log over, and see what crawls out." What's crawled out is front-page news. What has yet to crawl out are the salacious photos and texts AMI claims it has. So this afternoon, the federal government actually launched a probe into this because when they were making the deal with AMI over, once they finally confessed to the catch and kill story, they wanted to make sure that they're still in compliance with some of the things they agreed to do at the time. I mean, notice David Pecker or nobody else has been indicted or in jail or anything. So the feds are trying to determine whether anything was done illegally. Of course, AMI, the National Enquirer, says it wasn't. But I have to say, I don't know how you all, I thought this was a refreshing approach. We've only seen this, David Letterman did it when he got out front once when he was accused of having an affair. But for a guy like this, just to put it all out there, and with the risk, by the way, that the photos and the texts are going to follow, is pretty amazing.
I think, it's PR 101, and I'm not a PR expert here, but I think, and you pointed to David Letterman, who found himself in a similar situation where someone trying to blackmail him, he had been having an affair with this person, and he comes out in front of it. It's always, I think, whether you're, a business person or journalist, whoever it is, you want to control the narrative. It's much easier for you to do that and drive the narrative than it is to be on the receiving end of something and then having to react to it.
And no comment.
And no comment. And usually what happens is, denials or no comment and then some kind of admission that something happened and then forgiveness, right? But if you, if you can come out and kind of lay the ground and then not only just admit to what you have done, which he has done already, but then also accuse the people who are coming after you of something else, that's a winning combination, I think, in the PR war.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I think also what's very unusual about this is the extortion that he's going after is because they are essentially, AMI is saying to Bezos there that if you don't say publicly that we didn't do this politically, then we're going to do it. I don't know that there's any precedent for that anywhere. But the very fact that they would do that in writing is absolutely just, you need to go at least learn from the mafia that you wink or you nod or something, but the last thing you do is put it in writing.
Meet in an alley.
And they also know he is probably one of a handful of people in the country who could buy AMI and shut it down tomorrow. So not only is this a threat, but
that's what they were worried about.
He's got a big stick.
No, absolutely. And I mean, this is just an incredible story, and this is a lot more than PR damage control. I mean, Bezos is really blowing the lid off the National Enquirer. There's a Saudi Arabian angle. There's talk that now that the dam has been broken over this practice, we're going to find out about all kinds of people that the National Enquirer has extorted over the years. So good for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, because Ronan Farrow came out and said that he
had
also
he's one, but there's probably going to be many.
Well, I read the story and was listening to Rachel Maddow give me all the details and why they were being so careful about that politically charged piece of it, which I thought was fascinating. And then what came to mind is an old-fashioned term now, but I think it's appropriate here. Jeff Bezos is gangsta. He's just gangsta. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's totally gangsta. So there's that. But I also think there's another issue here that'll get broader attention as we get past the specifics of his own case, which is about privacy. Because a lot of people are asking the question, well, wait a minute, if this guy who's running a new media company can't protect his own thing, what choice is there for the rest of us? And what are the other issues that rise up as a result of it? So I think there's a lot of stuff that will be discussed in addition to just the case itself.
And even further investigation into how they got those text messages and photographs, because there could have been government involvement for all we know.
They say that this was the biggest investigation that they had ever done, and they were so proud of it. But the question is,
where did it come from?
Did they cross the line?
That's
and
right.
And what was
Who
their
did they pay?
objective?
Yeah.